Here's part 8 of We Spread by Ian Reed. You guys want to see what a paramilitary base camp looks like? So this is what a base camp looks like when a wildfire sweeps through an area. The more severe, the bigger the base camp. It's 5 a.m. and we're waiting for our daily assignment. So back to the story. So we're in the bathroom. Shelly is snipping away at Penny's hair. It turned out to be a short bob. Penny's like, I'm too afraid to say anything because I feel like Shelly's in a bad mood and I'm gonna tread lightly. Penny's like, it's not a big deal because hair grows back and it's only temporary. But then Shelly starts snipping at her fingernail. Oh, Penny, you should paint your nails a pretty color. Something fun for the party, you know? Maybe pink? Fingernails? I never really saw the need for it. I bite my nails and, I mean, the paint's gonna chip off anyway. It's not me. I don't like that. Well, Penny, the best part about nails is that they're temporary. If you cut them, they grow back. The best part about cutting your fingernails is painting them. So you should paint them. I mean, honestly, Shelly, I'd rather not. I mean, no, I don't really feel like doing that. Well, Shelly got snippy. That's a pun. She kept cutting and cutting Penny's fingernails until she cut too short and made her bleed. Oh, I'm sorry. Did that hurt? It looks like it hurt because you're bleeding. And immediately after that, the spa day was done and Penny went back to her room to paint some more. Jack scurried in to hand Penny a gift, noise-canceling headphones, which was strange because Penny preferred to listen to music, not utter silence during her art escapades. Jack, why do I need these? I don't want these. Just try them on. It's courtesy of the house. It blocks out all the noise. Noise? I've never complained about any noise, Penny thought to herself, like, different, but okay. Then she tried them on and it was completely silent. Very nice, I guess. And at this point, Penny had only been in this house, the 6-seaters, for only 2 days. Jack began pulling the sheets off of her bed, and Penny turned to Jack like, I've only slept in my bed twice, you don't need to change the sheets. And all Jack said was, Ruth hates dirty sheets, and scurried away. That's weird, okay? Penny thought to herself, what did Ruth have to do with me? But I'm not going to think too hard about it. It's not going to concern me. That night at dinner, it was too quiet. Nobody spoke. Something was off. Penny occasionally looked up from her plate at dinner to see Ruth eyeballing her. She could tell that Ruth wanted to speak to her. Ruth was a very chatty and giggly kind of gal, so whenever Ruth just eyeballed you, she couldn't hold back to speak. But since dinner had a lot of unnecessary tension, Penny waited until after the meal. And at that point, Ruth pulled Penny aside into a room. They weren't allowed to be by themselves in rooms they weren't supposed to be. So Penny was on edge, like, we gotta be careful. If Shelly catches us, she's gonna be pretty pissed. Ruth was giggling like a little girl and just like all giddy, and she's like, oh my goodness. And Penny was like, Ruth, what did you want to tell me? What did you want to say? And all Penny could do was giggle. She grabbed Penny's hand and began painting her nails. Penny just let her do this. Maybe this will get some information out of Ruth. She painted Penny the same colored nails that Ruth had on, so they were twinsies. Ruth flashed one of her fingernails and it had the same real shallow cut. Ooh, dirty nails. My apologies. Ruth flashed one of her fingernails and it had a real shallow cut in the same spot at the same angle in the same wound area as Penny's, so they had matching injuries because Shelly cut their nails too short. Well, their little giggling session was cut short because they heard a noise in the hallway and they both skedaddled real fast, thinking that Shelly was just around the corner, watching them. So Penny left this little side room and wandered through the kitchen where all the lights were off, but the pantry door was slightly ajar. And by peeking in and squeezing herself inside because she heard Jack crying, she saw him in a corner holding a half-empty bottle of wine. He was crying to himself and muttering, I just work and work and work and we hate it here. We all hate it here. We're afraid of the same thing. And he didn't notice Penny, but Penny's like, Jack, what are we afraid of? What's going on? Why are you upset? And he wouldn't say anything, and he just sobbed. She didn't want to waste any more time, so she backed out of that room and left. So that night when Penny went to bed, she was in a world of pain. She somehow fell ill and was in and out of consciousness for what felt like an eternity. Days, maybe. She had fever dreams, she had cold sweats, she was in so much pain. And while in and out of consciousness, she kept seeing these two figures come in and out of her room and hovering over her bed. Hours later, maybe days, the next morning, who knows, she climbed out of bed. She desperately needed water. She was thirsty and she was in so much pain. She scrambled out of bed because no one was around to help her and assist her. She flicked on the light and she saw the most horrific scene of her dead, late husband, life partner, painting away at her canvas. He looked so much older. He looked so aged. And it startled her. She hasn't seen him in years. She was at his funeral. She saw his dead, embalmed body. How is he still here? All she did was she just stood there, frozen. And then Penny woke up.